My beloved child, if today I were to draw near to you and whisper that the journey of your mortal frame is drawing to a close, how would you respond? Would you welcome it with a smile, as a traveler who has reached the destination long awaited? Or would your heart cling to unfinished tasks, to unspoken words, to memories that still bind you, like threads woven too tightly into the fabric of your soul? Pause now and listen carefully to the sound of my voice. Within each syllable is a gentle assurance, a reminder that my hand has never lifted from your life. From the moment you first opened your eyes to the light of dawn, until this very instant, every step you have taken, every breath you have drawn, every thought that has arisen in your heart has been inscribed within a design more intricate than human wisdom can fathom. Not a single tear has escaped my notice. Not a single sigh has gone unheard. You have walked through mornings wet with dew and evenings heavy with storm. You have taken steps upon narrow paths where fear surrounded you, and upon wide roads where you felt almost lost in the crowd. There were moments when your feet trembled because you did not know which way to go. And there were also times when you stepped forward boldly, simply because a faint glimmer of light flickered at the horizon. I have seen you endure silently when the weight pressed heavy, and I have also seen you laugh even when wounds still throbbed inside. These moments, each unique in their height and depth, have not been random fragments scattered across your life. Together they form a melody, a song unlike any other, one that only you can sing fully, and one that resounds in the courts of heaven. When you thought you were merely surviving, you were in fact imprinting your story into the pages of eternity. Every compassionate glance you gave to a stranger, every word of encouragement you spoke into a weary soul, every small action filled with kindness, each one became a seed sown into the soil of another life. And just as the scripture has said, sow righteousness for yourselves, reap the fruit of unfailing love, Hosea 10:12. Seeds do not vanish when they are hidden beneath the earth. They rest. They absorb. They wait for the right season. Likewise, your deeds, even those you have long forgotten, are quietly germinating in the unseen, destined to break forth into harvest when the appointed hour arrives. You may not yet see their blossoms, but one day, in the land beyond time, you will witness fields filled with flowers born from the seeds you sowed. Do not think, therefore, that when I speak of completion, I speak of disappearance or of loss. Completion in my kingdom is not erasure, it is fulfillment. It is not an end, but a passage into something far greater. Consider the river that runs faithfully until it meets the ocean. Does it cease to exist? No, it expands into vastness, into freedom, into a union beyond measure. In the same way, when your soul steps beyond the confines of the flesh, it does not vanish. It spreads into infinity, into a dimension where freedom knows no boundary, where communion with the source of life is unhindered and eternal. There, no distance separates, no misunderstanding divides, no fear restrains. There is only perfect intimacy with the one who has sustained you all along. And yet, I know your heart often wonders, have I done enough? Have I left anyone behind? Are there words I should have spoken but never found the courage to say? My beloved, know this truth. Everything genuine you have ever carried within you has been preserved by me. Every longing you dared to nurture, every act of love you quietly offered, every dream born from kindness, all of them have been woven into the grand tapestry I am creating, like a carpet of immeasurable beauty. threaded with countless colors. Your deeds and desires have been stitched into the whole ast. Not a single thread has been wasted. None of it has been overlooked. While you still walked the earth, you often saw only fragments. You asked why some days were so heavy, why nights were so long. You wondered why you faced silence instead of answers. But from where I stand, the fragments have always been part of a whole. Every trial has polished you like a craftsman cutting a jewel. Every pain has carved a deeper channel for compassion to flow through you. Every joy has reflected back the light of eternity into your being. You were never walking alone, never suffering without meaning. Eich Moment, even the hidden ones, have been brushstrokes in a masterpiece only I fully see. Now imagine this, a road stretched before you, lined with lights that do not flicker. Those lights were set by those who walked ahead, voices of encouragement, testimonies of faith, assurances that you are not stepping into emptiness but into fulfillment. That is the true homeland of your soul. It is not an alien land. It is the place where you have always belonged. Though you did not yet see it with your eyes, you are not walking toward the unknown. You are returning home. I do not come to you as a cold judge tallying your failures, but as a familiar guide who has walked beside you through cliffs and valleys. I know your heartbeat, your hidden fears, your unspoken desires. I do not rush you forward, but neither will I allow you to remain shackled by the weight of the past. All that has unfolded has been preparing you for this moment. It is the season in which the seed of life within you has matured, ready to be gathered into the harvest of eternity. So when you look back and see the times you thought you were abandoned, understand now that I was removing you from places that no longer belonged to you. When people left, when doors shut, when dreams faded, it was not to destroy you, but to bring you closer to the essence of who you were created to be. And now, because you are ready, the door stands open, not to a small chamber of confinement, but to a boundless expanse where love itself is free from the limits of time. Therefore, do not look upon what is coming with the eyes of loss. See it as a dawn breaking, where the light of morning gathers all that has been and shines upon the road yet unseen. This is not the end. It is the rising of a new chapter, one more radiant, one more glorious, one untouched by decay or fading. You will step not into emptiness, but into abundance that will never wither. My child, do not let fear take root in your heart when I speak of transition, for fear is the shadow of misunderstanding, and misunderstanding is the absence of light. When light enters, shadows vanish. Hear me clearly now. What lies ahead is not a void, but a table prepared in the presence of your enemies, a dwelling place built by hands, not of this world. Recall the words of my son, in my Father's house are many rooms. If it were not so, would I have told you that I am going there to prepare a place for you? John 1:4-2. This is not a poetic illusion. It is a declaration of reality. A place shaped for you, where your soul is not cramped nor diminished, but free to breathe in eternity without constraint. You have asked me countless times in your silence, Lord, why am I here? Why must I endure this season of waiting, this heavy silence, this unrelenting uncertainty? And I have answered in ways that only later became clear to you. At times, I shielded you from dangers you never saw. At other times, I withheld what you thought you needed because I knew it would have harmed you. I allowed certain doors to close, not because I abandoned you, but because beyond them lay snares that would have ensnared your soul. like a shepherd guiding the flock away from cliffs unseen. I have led you even when your eyes perceived only confusion. And now, as this chapter draws to its fullness, the questions of your past are being gathered into answers, not spoken in mere words, but revealed in the unfolding of destiny. Do you remember the tears you thought were wasted? Nights when prayers fell like stones into a bottomless well, those cries were not wasted. They were caught, every single one, as precious drops stored in the vessels of heaven. Scripture assures you, you keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book, Psalm 5, 6, 8. Not one sigh dissolved into nothingness. Not one cry faded into the dark, unnoticed. Each became a testimony, a fragrance rising up to my throne. And in return, I poured strength into you when you least expected it. You rose again on mornings when you thought you could not endure. That was not your strength, it was mine. Even when your body trembled, even when your heart nearly broke under the weight, you stood again. Do you not see that resilience was the proof that my breath was still within you? Sustaining, lifting, carrying you when your own power ran dry. And what you perceived as weakness was, in fact, the very evidence of my strength being perfected in you. For my power is made perfect not in self-sufficiency, but in surrender. When you yielded, you discovered that the ground beneath you was stronger than you imagined, because it was not sand, but stone Christ himself, the unshakable foundation. You have lived under the illusion that life is measured by possessions, achievements, or recognition. But in the final hour, when the veil thins and eternity stretches before you, none of these cling to your spirit. The applause fades. The wealth slips away. The titles dissolve like mist in the morning sun. What remains is love, how you gave it, how you received it, how you allowed it to shape the essence of your soul. Did you forgive? Did you extend kindness when it was undeserved? Did you walk in humility, remembering that every breath was a gift and not a right? These are the treasures that neither moth nor rust can destroy, the jewels that will shine when earthly crowns have turned to dust. And I tell you now, beloved, that you have loved more than you realize. Your acts may have seemed small, an encouraging word to a stranger, a meal offered to someone hungry, a prayer whispered for someone who never knew your name. But in the kingdom, the smallest seed becomes the greatest tree. For truly I tell you, my son said, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Matthew 1:7-20. If such is true of faith, consider what is true of love. Your smallest gestures have set in motion ripples that will not cease until eternity itself. Do not let regret bind you. You say, if only I had done more, spoken more, given more. But understand, I do not measure as men measure. You weigh deeds by scale and number, but I weigh them by intent and heart. The widow who gave 2 small coins was praised above the wealthy who gave much, for she gave all she had. So too, I have cherished every act you have done out of sincerity, even if hidden from human sight. I have seen your silent sacrifices, your unseen obedience, your quiet endurance. These are jewels in my crown for you. Even now, as you read these words, you may sense a trembling in your spirit. That trembling is not fear, it is recognition. Deep calls unto deep. The part of you that comes from eternity responds when eternity speaks. You know, even if your mind struggles, that these words are not foreign. They are home. They echo in the chambers of your soul because they are truth. And truth is never unfamiliar. You have always belonged to me. Every path you walked, whether through gardens or deserts, was bringing you back to this certainty: you are mine, and I am yours. Lift your eyes from the dust of temporary concerns. See now the horizon glowing with a light that no night can extinguish. That light is not far, it is breaking even now. You have longed for peace, for rest, for a place where storms cannot reach you. That longing is not fantasy. It is memory of the home your soul once knew before the world pressed upon you. It is the echo of Eden within your being. Soon, that echo will become reality once more. Therefore, do not cling to what is fading. Release it. Trust that what I hold for you is immeasurably greater. Like a child who hesitates to let go of a broken toy, fearing there may be nothing better, you have clung to pieces of life that were never meant to be permanent. Yet all along, I have been holding treasures in my hand, waiting for you to release the fragments so that I may place in your palms the fullness. Do you not see? This is not the end. It is unveiling. It is awakening. It is fulfillment. As surely as the dawn follows the night, so surely will your soul step into light that never fades. The pain of parting will dissolve. The wounds of earth will be healed. The tears of longing will be wiped away by my own hand. And you will know, in that moment, that every step, every burden, every joy, and every sorrow were not wasted. They were guiding you home. My beloved child, you must understand this. Clearly, nothing in your life has been accidental. Every season, every trial, every unanswered question was part of a design greater than your understanding. You often thought you were lost, wandering without direction, but I was guiding you with an invisible hand, protecting you from dangers hidden in shadows and leading you toward the place I had prepared. Think back to the moments when all seemed hopeless, yet somehow, strength rose in you. That strength was not born of your own will, it was my spirit breathing within you, ensuring that despair did not consume you. Even when you believed you had reached your limit, I stretched the boundaries of your endurance and carried you forward. There were times when you misunderstood silence as abandonment, but silence was never absence. Silence was the womb of transformation. In the stillness, I was shaping you, refining your character, deepening your roots. Just as gold is refined through fire, so your spirit was purified through seasons of waiting. You were not forgotten. My child, every hidden prayer echoed through the corridors of heaven. Every sigh was noticed. Every longing was recorded. And though you felt overlooked by people, you were never overlooked by me. You may wonder why so many battles were allowed to come upon you. Why the betrayals? Why the losses? Why the long nights of grief? Hear me. Well, none of these were wasted. Each scar became a marker of survival. Each wound, a testimony of grace. Without those valleys, you would never have discovered the heights of my faithfulness. Without storms, you would not have recognized the strength of my shelter. Without hunger, you would not have cherished the sweetness of my provision. For every pain carried within it a seed of revelation. And now those seeds are beginning to bloom. Lift your eyes for a moment from your struggles and consider this: you are still standing. Others thought you would collapse, that you would not rise from the ashes of what was broken. Yet here you are breathing, believing, hoping still. That is no small miracle. That is evidence that my hand has preserved you, that my plans for you could not be canceled by circumstances, enemies, or even your own mistakes. Did I not say through my prophet, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Jeremiah 2:9-11. Those words remain true, and their fulfillment is closer than you imagine. My child, your tears were not a sign of weakness, but a form of worship. When you cried out in the dark, even if your words were broken, they ascended to me as incense. Do you not realize angels carried them like precious fragrance into my presence? What seemed like silence from my side was, in truth, preparation. Preparation for a moment when I would turn what was meant for harm into good, when I would transform sorrow into joy, when I would exchange your garments of mourning for robes of praise. And now, hear this with certainty, the season is shifting. You have endured long nights, but the dawn is near. The sound of awakening is already stirring in the unseen. The walls that confined you are trembling. The chains that bound you are weakening, and the heavens are aligning for your release. Just as Israel passed through the Red Sea with walls of water on each side, so too will I open a way before you where none seemed possible. You will walk on dry ground through the midst of impossibility, and your enemies, those who mocked, doubted, or opposed you, will witness my deliverance on your behalf. Do not cling to the past, beloved, for the past is a shadow, and I am calling you into light. The mistakes, the failures, the betrayals, they no longer define you. The enemy would chain you with regret, but I have broken those chains. If anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. The old has passed away. Behold, the new has come. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Believe this truth. You are not who you once were. You are who I say you are: redeemed, chosen, set apart, beloved beyond measure. Perhaps you feel unworthy. Perhaps shame whispers that you are disqualified. But let me speak louder than shame. You are not chosen because of your perfection. You are chosen because of my perfection. My grace is not earned, it is given. My love is not bought, it is free. Remember the thief on the cross. He had nothing to offer, no time left to prove himself. And yet, my Son promised him paradise. That same mercy covers you. That same love surrounds you. That same promise is extended to you. Now I ask you, my child, to release fear. Fear has crippled your steps, silenced your voice, and stolen your joy. Fear has told you that you will fail, that you will be abandoned, that you will not survive. But I am not the author of fear, I am the giver of peace. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy 1:7. Stand in that truth. Fear is a liar, but I am truth. When you walk in me, fear cannot hold you. Take courage, for what lies before you is not destruction but destiny. I am not leading you into darkness, I am leading you into fulfillment. Every promise spoken over your life still stands. The delays did not cancel them. The detours did not erase them. The doubts of others did not weaken them. My word does not return void. It accomplishes what I sent it to do. And my word over your life is life, abundance, restoration, and victory. Do not despise the small beginnings you see now, for the smallest seed contains forests yet unseen. Do not dismiss the quiet moments of obedience, for they are building foundations stronger than stone. You have planted in tears, and you will reap in joy. The barren ground you thought would never yield fruit is about to bloom with abundance. The desert you walked through is about to spring with rivers, for I am making all things new. Even in this very moment, angels are being dispatched on your behalf. Doors are preparing to open. Opportunities are aligning, and hearts are being softened in places you thought were impossible. What seemed delayed is only positioned for perfect timing. What seemed denied was only redirected for greater fulfillment. Nothing has been wasted, not one prayer, not one step, not one act of faith. And so I tell you again, hold fast. Do not let go. Keep your eyes fixed, not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. For what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. Soon, you will understand what now seems hidden. Soon, you will look back and say, truly, the Lord has done great things for me. Let your heart rest. Beloved, the striving can cease. The anxiety can quiet. The burden can lift, for you are not carrying this alone. I am with you closer than breath, nearer than heartbeat. My hand is on you, my spirit within you, my love around you. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. You are mine, and I am yours forever. Therefore, step forward with boldness. Step forward with confidence. Step forward not in your own strength, but in mine, for I go before you. I walk beside you, and I cover your rear guard. Your path is secured. Your future is sealed, and your inheritance is waiting. Do not fear, my child. The best is yet to come, and it is closer than you think, my beloved child. Now that you have heard my assurance and received my comfort, you must prepare yourself for the next stage. This is not the time to retreat into fear or hesitation, but the time to stand firm in the identity I have given you. Every lesson, every tear, every battle was not just for survival, it was training. I have been raising you as a soldier of light, one who will not crumble under pressure, but will shine in the midst of darkness. The strength you carry now is not ordinary. It is forged in the fire of trials, sealed by my spirit, and destined for influence beyond what you can see. Do not underestimate the weight of your calling. It may seem small when compared to the world's standards, but in my kingdom, obedience is greater than appearance. When David stood before Goliath, all he had was a sling and a stone, yet his heart carried the authority of heaven. In the same way, you may feel ill-equipped, but I remind you it is not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit that victories are won. Your words, though simple, will carry fire. Your steps, though trembling, will shake foundations. Your prayers, though whispered, will echo in heavenly places. You must also understand that with greater calling comes greater resistance. Do not be surprised when opposition rises, for light always exposes darkness, and darkness fears exposure. When storms come, they are not a sign of failure, but a confirmation that you are advancing in the right direction. Remember how the disciples trembled on the boat while waves threatened to consume them. Yet my son arose, and with one command, stilled the storm. The storm did not indicate abandonment. It revealed authority. Likewise, the turbulence around you is an invitation to exercise the authority I have given you. My child, I have clothed you with armor, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit. These are not mere metaphors, but realities of protection and power. When lies surround you, fasten truth tightly. When accusations come, let righteousness guard your heart. When fiery darts of fear or doubt are thrown, raise the shield of faith, and they will be extinguished. And above all, wield my word boldly, for it is sharper than any double-edged sword, cutting through deception and breaking chains. In this coming season, I am not only calling you to survive, but to advance. Survival was for the wilderness. Advancement is for the promise. Just as Joshua was commanded to cross the Jordan and take possession of the land, so too I am commanding you to step into new territory. This territory may appear intimidating, filled with giants. But remember, I have already gone ahead. The land is marked with your name. The inheritance is secured. You must rise with courage and declare, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." Do not shrink back, for I take no pleasure in those who retreat. Move forward, for your obedience will unlock blessings not only for yourself, but for generations to come. Beloved, I also warn you to guard your heart carefully. Not everyone who smiles is a friend. Not every voice that speaks into your life is from me. Discernment is crucial. Wolves often dress as sheep. Flatterers often conceal hidden agendas. Do not allow jealousy, bitterness, or envy from others to poison your spirit. Protect the treasure within you. Be wise about whom you allow into your inner circle. Even my son was betrayed by one he had fed and walked with. So do not be surprised when betrayal tries to wound you. Yet take comfort, no betrayal can cancel my plan. For what the enemy intends for evil, I will turn for good. I urge you also to stay rooted in intimacy with me. Do not let the noise of this world drown out my whispers. Do not trade sacred moments for distractions that steal life from your soul. As Mary sat at the feet of Jesus while others were busy, so must you choose the better portion. Your strength will not come from striving, but from abiding. When you draw near to me, I will draw near to you. When you listen for my voice, I will speak with clarity. When you worship in spirit and truth, I will fill you with rivers of living water. My child, you are entering a season of manifestation. What was spoken in secret will now be revealed in the open. What was planted in hidden soil will soon break through the surface. The promises that seemed delayed will burst forth with acceleration. You will see signs, confirmations, and doors opening unexpectedly. But do not let success lead you to pride, nor breakthrough lead you to forgetfulness. Always remember that every gift flows from me, and apart from me, you can do nothing. Remain humble, remain grateful, and remain dependent. Finally, let courage rise within you. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to trust despite fear. Courage is stepping forward even when uncertainty looms. Courage is declaring my word when circumstances speak otherwise. And I tell you this, those who walk in courage will inherit the land. Those who trust in me will never be put to shame. Stand firm, my child, for I am with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. The same God who parted the sea, who fed multitudes, who raised the dead, is the same God walking with you now. Therefore, lift your head, square your shoulders, and take the next step. Do not look back, the past is buried. Do not look down, discouragement is a trap. Do not look around, comparison will steal your joy. Look up, for your redemption draws near. Look forward, for the path is unfolding. Look within, for my Spirit dwells in you. You are not ordinary, you are chosen, appointed, and anointed for such a time as this. Walk boldly, my beloved child, for the days ahead are not to be feared, but embraced. My beloved child, do not think that the journey I am leading you into is without significance. Every step you take is guided by my hand, and nothing you face will be wasted. The very ground you walk upon will one day testify of your faith. Every tear you have shed is stored in my bottle, and every cry you have whispered in the night has been heard in my throne room. Nothing escapes me, and nothing is overlooked. While the world may see weakness, I see perseverance. While others may dismiss you, I see resilience. You have endured seasons of silence and hardship, and now those hidden battles are becoming the foundation of your authority. Understand this: authority is not given cheaply. It is not handed to those who chase comfort, but to those who have wrestled with pain and remained faithful. Look at Jacob, who wrestled through the night and limped away with a blessing that changed his identity. In the same way, your limp, your scars, and your wounds are not marks of shame, they are evidence of divine encounters. They are signs that you have contended with trials and prevailed. When you speak, there is a weight to your words because they have been tested in the fire of reality. When you pray, there is power because your prayers are born not from theory, but from lived experience. My child, I am positioning you before doors you could never open by yourself. These doors are not ordinary, they are gates of destiny. Some of them will swing wide suddenly, and others will require persistence and patience. Do not be discouraged if a door seems closed. Remember, even Paul faced closed doors before he was directed to Macedonia. Closed doors are not rejection, they are redirection. Trust that when I withhold something, it is because I am preparing something better. Trust that when I delay, it is because timing matters. Do not rush ahead of me, but also do not lag behind. Walk in step with my Spirit. For those led by my Spirit are truly my children. In this coming season, I am also calling you to lift your eyes higher. Too often you have measured your potential through the lens of past failures. Too often you have allowed the voices of men to dictate your worth. But I tell you today, you are not defined by what they said, by what you lost, or by what you feared. You are defined by what I have spoken over you. Before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. Before you lived one day on this earth, I had already ordained your purpose. My word over you is eternal, unchanging, and unstoppable. No mistake is powerful enough to cancel it. No opposition is strong enough to overturn it. Therefore, walk in confidence, not in arrogance, but in assurance that I am with you, confidence that even when storms roar, I will anchor you, confidence that even when enemies plot, I will shield you, confidence that even when you feel unworthy, my grace is sufficient. Do not shrink back because of shame. Do not hide because of insecurity. Instead, Rise up in the dignity of being my child. Lift your voice boldly, because I have placed fire on your tongue. Step into rooms with courage, because I have gone before you. Stand before giants without fear, because I am the one who fights for you. But child, I must also warn you, distractions will come. The enemy will not confront you only with obvious evil, but with subtle detours. He will tempt you to exchange purpose for comfort, calling for convenience, holiness for compromise. Guard your heart, guard your time, guard your focus. Do not let the noise of applause or the sting of criticism move you. If you live for the approval of men, you will die by their rejection. Fix your eyes on me alone, for I am the author and finisher of your faith. Remember, the way of the cross is not glamorous. It is not about fame, but faithfulness. It is not about recognition, but obedience. There will be times when your obedience will make no sense to those around you. Abraham was asked to leave his homeland without knowing where he was going. Noah was commanded to build an ark when there was no sign of rain. Mary was chosen to carry the Savior, though it brought misunderstanding and shame. In the same way, I may lead you into paths that others cannot understand. But trust this: what I begin, I will finish. What I plant, I will bring to harvest. My child, do not despise small beginnings. Seeds are small, yet they contain forests. A whisper may seem insignificant, yet it can shake kingdoms if it carries my breath. Do not compare your journey to others, for each vessel is crafted for a unique assignment. Some are called to carry heavy loads, others are designed for swift missions. Both are vital, both are precious. And you, my child, are designed perfectly for what I have destined you to do. Do not wish to be someone else. Do not envy another's path. Celebrate who you are in me. For your uniqueness is not an accident, it is a weapon. In this season, I am also stirring new gifts within you. Dreams will intensify, visions will become clearer, discernment will sharpen. Do not ignore these stirrings, for they are signs of my spirit moving. Journal what I show you. Pray into the visions I give. Speak life over the dreams that awaken your heart. They are not random, they are blueprints of destiny. When Joseph dreamed, his brothers mocked him, yet those dreams carried the map of his future. So too, your dreams may not make sense now, but they will guide you into places you cannot yet imagine. Above all, cling to my promises. Speak them daily. Declare them boldly. Let them saturate your thoughts until they reshape your reality. When fear whispers, answer with faith. When doubt speaks, reply with truth. When discouragement weighs heavy, lift up praise. Worship is your weapon. Gratitude is your shield. Faith is your anchor. These are not just practices, they are lifelines. Beloved, the days ahead will not be free of challenges, but they will be marked with my presence, and my presence changes everything. It turns deserts into rivers, graves into gardens, and valleys into places of victory. Walk forward with assurance, for you are not walking alone. My hand is on you. My spirit is in you, and my angels surround you. Rise, child, and take your place, for heaven is waiting to partner with you. My child, the preparation you have endured has not been in vain. Every hidden season, every silent night, every unanswered question has been shaping you for this moment. You may have thought you were forgotten, but you were being formed, like clay in the hands of the potter. You were pressed, stretched, and remolded until you carried the shape of purpose. The pressure was not punishment, it was design. For vessels of honor must be tested in fire before they can carry glory. You are that vessel, and the refining you have walked through has only increased your capacity for what is coming. Do not underestimate the power of endurance. Endurance is not weakness. It is the strength to stand when everything else tells you to fall. It is the testimony that you refused to quit when quitting seemed easier. It is the declaration that though storms came, you did not let them drown you. You stood. You endured. And because of that, your roots now run deep, anchored in my word and not in shifting sands. This depth is what will allow you to flourish in the next season. When winds of adversity blow again, you will not be shaken. For you have learned that your strength is not your own, it is mine. Remember, I am the God who redeems time. What you thought was lost, I can restore in abundance. Joel once prophesied that I would restore the years the locusts had eaten. In the same way, the seasons you thought were wasted will yield unexpected fruit. The prayers you thought went unanswered are now maturing underground, ready to break forth in sudden harvest. The opportunities you thought slipped away will return in greater measure. Wrapped in my timing and sealed with my favor, trust that I waste nothing, even your mistakes, when surrendered to me, become stepping stones. Even your pain becomes oil for healing others. Child, I am not only calling you to walk in blessing, but also to walk in responsibility. To whom much is given, much will be required. Do not treat lightly the mantle I am placing on your shoulders. It is not a trophy for display, but a tool for service. This is why humility must guard your heart. Pride will seek to creep in. But remember that apart from me, you can do nothing. Do not boast in your wisdom, your strength, or your resources. Boast only in the Lord. For the moment you exalt yourself, the foundation crumbles. But the moment you humble yourself under my hand, I lift you up in due season. You must also recognize the importance of community. The destiny I have for you is not a solo mission. Even Moses had Aaron. Even Paul had Timothy. Even Jesus walked with disciples. Do not isolate yourself, for isolation is the enemy's strategy to weaken you. Surround yourself with those who sharpen your faith, who challenge your growth, and who remind you of truth when lies surround you. Be wise in who you allow close, but do not walk alone. My body is many parts, yet one. You are not called to carry every burden alone. You are called to link arms with others who walk in the same spirit. In this journey, prepare for opposition. The greater the calling, the greater the resistance. Do not be surprised when people misunderstand you, when jealousy rises, or when critics speak. These are confirmations that you are moving in the right direction. If you were no threat, the enemy would not bother with you. But because you are stepping into destiny, the enemy trembles. Remember, though, that your battle is not against flesh and blood. Do not waste your energy fighting people. Love them, forgive them, bless them. Your real war is spiritual, and your real victory is secured through prayer, worship, and the word. Beloved, I am equipping you with weapons that cannot fail. My word in your mouth is a sword sharper than any two-edged blade. My spirit in you is power greater than anything in this world. My angels surround you. a sign to guard your steps. You are not defenseless. You are dangerous to darkness. Walk in that authority. Speak with that confidence. Move with that assurance. When fear rises, declare my promises aloud. When temptation comes, resist with truth. When doubt whispers, silence it with worship. Every time you choose faith over fear, you push back the kingdom of darkness and advance my kingdom of light. My child, do not delay in obedience. Partial obedience is disobedience. Delayed obedience is also disobedience. When I speak, act. When I command, move. When I whisper, respond. Do not overanalyze or seek constant confirmation from men. Trust that my sheep know my voice. You are my sheep, and you know my voice. The more you obey, the clearer my voice becomes. The more you hesitate, the more you allow confusion. Step out boldly, even if you cannot see the whole picture. Faith is not seeing every detail. It is trusting the one who holds every detail. As you walk forward, cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is the soil in which joy flourishes. Gratitude silences complaint, disarm, discouragement, and invites my presence. Do not only thank me when everything is perfect. Thank me in the waiting. Thank me in the storms. Thank me in the unanswered prayers. Gratitude is not denial of pain. It is acknowledgement that I am greater than pain. When you give thanks, you align your heart with heaven, and heaven responds with favor. Finally, my beloved, I remind you that your story is not small. Do not think lightly of your journey. Do not belittle your testimony. For someone else, your story is the key that unlocks their prison. For someone else, your scars are proof that healing is possible. For someone else, your endurance is the inspiration to keep going. Never underestimate the ripple effect of obedience. What you do in faith today can echo through generations. Abraham obeyed, and nations were blessed. Ruth stayed faithful, and a lineage was redeemed. Paul preached, and the gospel spread across the world. In the same way, your faith will impact more lives than you can count. Sorrise. Child, rise with courage. Rise with humility. Rise with expectation. For the season of preparation is giving way to the season of fulfillment. The waiting is over. The breakthrough is near. The doors are opening. The promises are aligning. The harvest is ready. Step forward into what I have prepared. And know this truth. I who began a good work in you will be faithful to complete it. You are chosen. You are anointed. You are equipped. And above all, you are mine, my child. There is a shift taking place in the atmosphere. What was once closed is beginning to open. What seemed immovable is starting to shake. You may not see the full picture yet, but the signs are already manifesting around you. The stillness that surrounded your past season is giving way to movement. The silence that felt heavy is being broken by a new sound. This is not imagination, it is divine transition. The heavens are aligning with your destiny, and the earth must respond. For when I declare a thing, creation itself moves to obey. Do not let fear cause you to miss this moment. Fear will whisper that you are not ready, that you are not worthy, that you will fail if you try. But fear is a liar. It is the voice of the enemy, attempting to keep you bound when I have already declared you free. You are ready, not because you feel it, but because I have made you ready You are worthy, not because of perfection, but because I chose you. You will succeed, not because of your strength, but because my hand is upon you. Reject fear and embrace faith, for faith sees beyond the visible. Faith calls forth the invisible, and faith takes hold of what fear says is impossible. Child, I am sending provision for your assignment. Do not worry about resources, connections, or opportunities. The same God who fed Elijah with ravens, who multiplied bread and fish for the multitudes, who filled the widow's jar with oil until it overflowed. He is the same God watching over you now. I have already prepared people who will support your journey. I have already aligned resources that will meet your need. I have already opened doors that you do not even know exist yet. Your responsibility is not to figure everything out, but to trust and obey. Walk where I lead, and you will find what I have hidden for you in plain sight. Understand, this favor is not fair. You will see doors open for you that others cannot explain. You will walk into rooms you were not invited to, but that I destined for you. You will receive opportunities that surpass your qualifications. Because my favor outruns human limitation. When people ask, "How did this happen?" you will say, "It was the Lord." Do not apologize for the blessings I release. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Shine, so that others will see your light and glorify me. Remember, you are blessed to be a blessing. At the same time, prepare your heart for stewardship. Blessings mishandled become burdens. Opportunities misused become traps. Favor without discipline becomes destruction. That is why I have trained you through hidden seasons. That is why I required patience when you wanted speed, faith when you wanted sight, endurance when you wanted escape. I was building within you the character that can sustain what is coming. Many pray for open doors but are not ready to walk through them. But you, my child, are being made ready. Walk with humility, walk with wisdom, and walk with gratitude, for these will guard your destiny. Do not despise small beginnings. Sometimes the door to great destiny looks ordinary. Sometimes the miracle is wrapped in simplicity. Remember how David was anointed in obscurity, tending sheep when no one noticed. Remember how Mary received the greatest assignment of carrying the Messiah, though she was a young woman in a small town. Remember how Moses encountered me in a burning bush in the wilderness, not in a palace. Do not wait for something dramatic before you believe. What I place in your hands today is the seed of tomorrow's harvest. Treat it with care, and it will multiply. In this season, keep your eyes fixed on me. Distractions will come. The enemy will attempt to divert your focus with noise, with conflict, with temporary pleasures, but you must not lose sight of the vision I have given you. Like Peter walking on water, as long as he kept his eyes on Jesus, he walked above the storm. The moment he looked at the waves, he began to sink. Do not look at the waves. Look at me. Do not measure the size of the storm, measure the size of your God. I am bigger, I am greater, and I am faithful. Child, your prayers are powerful. Do not underestimate them. Every whispered plea, every tear shed, every word lifted to heaven has been heard. Your prayers are incense before my throne, rising continually. Some answers have already been released, but are on their way. Others are being perfected in timing. Still, others are delayed because I am arranging circumstances for maximum impact. Do not stop praying. Pray without ceasing. Pray with boldness. Pray with faith. For prayer is not a last resort, it is your greatest weapon. When you pray, heaven moves. When you pray, chains break. When you pray, strongholds fall. I remind you also of the power of worship. Worship is not just songs, it is the posture of your heart. It is declaring that I am greater than the problem, that my presence is more valuable than solutions, that my name is above every other name. Worship shifts atmospheres. Worship confuses the enemy. Worship opens heaven. Paul and Silas worshipped in prison, and the foundations shook until the doors flew open. In the same way, your worship carries authority. Do not wait until the breakthrough to worship until the breakthrough comes. Finally, my child, guard your heart. Abu ve'alels. Guard your heart, for from it flow the issues of life. Protect what enters your spirit. Do not entertain bitterness, offense, or envy. These are poisons that corrode destiny. Choose forgiveness quickly. Choose love consistently. Choose peace deliberately. For the fruit of my spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. When these flow from your life, you will walk not only in blessing but in testimony. You will not just declare, my goodness, you will embody it. Rise. Then, with expectation, step into this season with confidence. Do not carry yesterday's failures into today's opportunities. Do not let past pain define your future promise. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Do you not perceive it? It is springing forth now. Doors are opening now. Breakthrough is unfolding now. The time is not distant, the time is here. Walk boldly, for I go before you. I walk beside you, and I cover you from behind. You are surrounded, sustained, and secured. You are mine, and nothing shall snatch you from my hand. My child, the journey you are on is not by accident. Every step, every delay, every detour has been woven together by my hand. What seemed like wasted time was preparation. What felt like silence was strategy. What looked like rejection was redirection. I am not a God of coincidence, but of purpose. While you questioned why doors closed, I was shielding you from paths that would destroy you. While you wondered why people walked away, I was removing weights that would slow you down. While you doubted if I had forgotten you, I was in fact setting the stage for your unveiling. Trust that nothing has been wasted, for I make all things work together for good. Understand that your destiny is bigger than what you can see. You often measure by what is in front of you, but I measure by eternity. You look at one chapter, but I hold the entire book. You see delay, I see development. You see limitation, I see launching. This is why I require your trust. My ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts higher than your thoughts. Just as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my plans higher than what you can comprehend. Rest, child, knowing that you are carried in wisdom far greater than your own. The enemy has tried to convince you that your struggles disqualify you. He whispers that your past mistakes, your weaknesses, and your scars make you unworthy of my calling. But hear me, your scars are not disqualifications. They are qualifications. They prove that you endured, that you survived, that you rose again. Thomas believed in the resurrection when he saw the scars in my hands. In the same way, others will believe in the reality of my power when they see how you carry your scars with faith. Do not hide them, for they are evidence of grace. They do not disqualify you, they testify of me. This is why I call you chosen. You were not selected because you were the strongest, the loudest, or the most qualified. You were chosen because your heart said yes. I do not look at outward appearance, I look at the heart. Many appear strong, but their hearts are proud. Many appear qualified, but their hearts are selfish. But you, my child, have been willing to surrender, to trust, to believe. And because of that, I will use you in ways that surpass natural ability. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. Where you cannot, I can. Where you fall short, I extend. Where you lack, I overflow. You must also know that your journey is not just about you. I have placed within you answers for others. Your obedience will unlock doors for families, communities, even generations to come. Abraham's faith was not just for himself, it birthed nations. Joseph's endurance was not only for his survival, it positioned him to save multitudes in famine. Esther's courage was not just for her life, it delivered her people. Likewise, what I am doing in you will ripple far beyond you. Do not minimize your impact. Every act of obedience carries eternal weight. Every sacrifice resounds through time. In this season, be alert. The enemy will try to plant distractions people sent to waste your time. Opportunities meant to pull you off course. Emotions designed to weaken your focus. But you must discern, not every open door is from me. Not every voice deserves your ear. Not every opportunity is meant for your journey. Test the spirits. Ask me before you commit. I will give you wisdom to separate what is divine from what is deception. For my sheep hear my voice, and the voice of a stranger they will not follow. Stay close to me, and you will not be deceived. Child, remember that I am your source. Jobs may change. Relationships may shift. Economies may falter. But I remain constant. Do not anchor your faith in what can be shaken. Anchor your faith in the unshakable. Heaven and earth may pass away, but my word will never fail. The same word that spoke creation into existence is the word that speaks over your life now. Hold on to it. Declare it. Stand on it. When storms rage, let my word be your anchor. When doubts rise, let my promises be your defense. When fear knocks, answer with faith. And know this, I am not only calling you to survive, I am calling you to thrive. Survival was for the wilderness. Thriving is for the promised land. You are stepping out of barely enough into more than enough. You are moving from wandering into possession. You are crossing from waiting into walking. But with greater blessing comes greater responsibility. Do not forget me when abundance comes. Do not let success make you arrogant. Remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to obtain wealth, influence, and opportunity. Use what I give you to build my kingdom, to bless others, and to glorify my name. Stay anchored in prayer. Stay rooted in my word. Surround yourself with people who sharpen your faith, not those who drain it. You cannot carry everyone into this next season. Some were only meant for the previous chapter. Do not drag yesterday's company into tomorrow's calling. Release with love those I have asked you to let go of. When you release, your hands are free to receive what I am sending next. Obedience will cost you comfort, but it will reward you with destiny. Finally, remember this truth: you are never alone. Even in the nights you cried with no one to hear, I was there. Even in the days you walked with a heavy heart, I walked beside you. Even in moments when you felt abandoned, my arms carried you. I am Emmanuel, God with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hold this close. You are seen. You are known. You are loved. And the plans I have for you are good, to give you hope and a future. Step boldly, for your story is not ending in defeat, it is unfolding in glory. My beloved child, do not despise the days of small beginnings. What looks insignificant in your eyes is often the seed of something mighty in mine. A mustard seed may be the smallest among seeds, yet it grows into a tree that shelters many. In the same way, the little acts of faith, the quiet prayers, the hidden sacrifices that no one else sees are building a foundation for a future greater than you imagine. I am the God who multiplies loaves and fish, the God who turns water into wine, the God who makes something out of what seems like nothing. Never underestimate the power of what I can do with your little. There are moments when the waiting feels unbearable. You wonder if my promises will ever come to pass. You question if your prayers are still reaching my ears. But hear me, delay is not denial. I am not slow in keeping my word. As some understand slowness, I am precise. I move at the fullness of time. Just as a baby must remain in the womb until the appointed day, so must the promises I have planted in you remain until maturity. If they are birthed too soon, they cannot survive. Trust the timing, for I am not only preparing the blessing for you, I am preparing you for the blessing. Lift your eyes, child, beyond the storm. When Peter fixed his gaze on the waves, he sank. But when he fixed his gaze on me, he walked on what others drowned in. So it is with you. Do not magnify the storm, magnify the Savior. Do not exalt the problem, exalt the promise. What you focus on will determine whether you sink or soar. I call you to walk by faith and not by sight. Sight sees the obstacle. Faith sees the outcome. Sight says it is impossible. Faith says with God, all things are possible. There are enemies who rise against you, but do not be afraid. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. This does not mean weapons will not form. It means they will not prevail. Arrows may be aimed at you, but they will fall short. Traps may be set, but you will walk past them unharmed. Accusations may rise, but they will not stand in my court. For I am your defender. I am your shield. I am the one who vindicates you. Leave vengeance in my hands. Do not waste energy fighting battles I have already won. Your focus is to remain steadfast, to keep walking forward, to keep your heart pure. Remember, too, that my blessings do not come only in material form. The world measures wealth by possessions, but I measure wealth by peace, joy, love, and purpose. What good is gold if your heart is restless? What good is success if your soul is empty? I desire to bless you with treasures that cannot be stolen, peace that passes understanding, joy unspeakable, love that never fails. Yes, I will provide your needs. Yes, I will open doors of opportunity. But above all, I will anchor you in eternal riches that cannot fade. The calling on your life will not always be easy. The path of destiny is narrow, and few choose it. At times, you will feel misunderstood, even by those closest to you. At times, obedience will require you to walk away from comfort, from approval, from applause. But know this, the reward outweighs the sacrifice. Whoever leaves behind houses, fields, or relationships, for my sake, will receive 100-fold in this life and eternal life in the age to come. Your labor is never in vain when it is in me. Do not forget gratitude. Gratitude is the language of faith. When you give thanks before the miracle, you show that you trust me even before you see. When Jesus lifted up the loaves and fish, he gave thanks before multiplication. When he stood before Lazarus's tomb, he gave thanks before resurrection. When you give thanks in the waiting, you prepare the soil for the miracle. A thankful heart is a magnet for my presence. Grumble, and you remain in the wilderness. Give thanks, and you step into the promised land. My spirit will guide you if you listen. I speak through whispers, through nudges, through scripture, through confirmations that align with my word. Do not expect always a thunder or fire. Sometimes I come in the still small voice. Quiet your soul. Silence the noise of the world. And lean in. I am always speaking. The question is, if you are listening, I long to lead you. Not only in big decisions, but in everyday steps. Trust me not just with your destiny, but with your daily bread. And know this, I am faithful to complete what I started in you. I am the author and the finisher. I do not begin a work and abandon it halfway. I am the potter shaping clay until it reflects my design. I am the shepherd leading sheep until they reach green pastures. I am the father guiding children until they mature. Even when you falter, I remain constant. Even when you wander, my rod and staff bring you back. Even when you stumble, my hand lifts you. I do not give up on you. I will not forsake you. I will finish the story I began in you. Sorrise, child, with renewed courage. Do not live as a victim of circumstances, but as a victor in Christ. Do not shrink back in fear, but press forward in faith. Do not let yesterday's pain dictate tomorrow's promise. I am doing a new thing now. It springs forth. Do you not perceive it? The wilderness will bloom. The desert will flow with rivers. What was barren will bring forth fruit. Your tears have watered the ground, and now the harvest is near. Lift your head, for redemption draws near. This is your season to shine, not by your own light, but by mine. Nations will see, not you, but me and you. They will glorify your Father in heaven when they witness your transformation. Walk boldly, walk humbly, walk faithfully, for the journey is far from over. The best is still to come, my beloved child. There comes a moment when you must recognize that the environment around you is shifting. The air feels different. The atmosphere carries a weight. And deep within your spirit, you know, something unseen is taking place. This is not coincidence, it is alignment. I am orchestrating events beyond your awareness. I am moving people into position. I am rearranging circumstances. I am opening doors and closing others. What appears like disruption in your life is often divine redirection. Trust that I am not removing things from you to leave you empty. I am making space for what is greater. Consider how a gardener prunes a vine. He cuts away branches that bear no fruit, not because he hates the vine, but because he loves it. The pruning hurts, yet it is necessary. Without pruning, the branch grows wild but fruitless. With pruning, it becomes stronger, healthier, and fruitful. So it is with your life. The losses you mourn, the relationships that ended, the opportunities that slipped away, they were prunings. Painful, yes, but purposeful. For every branch I cut, I am preparing a harvest. Do not cling to what I have removed. Cling to me, for I am the source of every new beginning. Understand that my ways are higher than your ways. What seems like a setback is often a setup for breakthrough. Joseph was sold by his brothers, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. But each stage was preparation for the palace. What they meant for harm, I turned for good. So it will be with you. The betrayal, the rejection, the disappointment, they are not the end of your story. They are chapters leading to redemption. One day, you will look back and see how every detour carried you closer to destiny. Child, I am calling you to see with eyes of faith. Do not measure your life by what is visible alone. The unseen is greater than the seen. Seeds are buried before they sprout. Caterpillars enter darkness before they emerge as butterflies. Night precedes dawn. So too must you endure hidden seasons before revelation comes. But hidden does not mean forgotten. Even in obscurity, I see you, even when no one applauds. I am watching, even when no one notices. I am recording every tear, every prayer, every act of obedience. Nothing you do in faith is wasted. There are times when silence feels unbearable, when heaven seems closed, when prayers return with no answer. Do not mistake silence for absence. A teacher is silent during the test, yet still present in the room. In the same way, my silence is not abandonment, it is preparation. I am testing the depth of your faith, the endurance of your trust, the sincerity of your devotion. For when you walk by faith and not by feelings, you prove that your anchor is truly in me. Do not let silence shake you. Instead, let it deepen your roots. Remember, the desert is not a place of death, but of training. Israel wandered 40 years, but even in the wilderness, their clothes did not wear out, their feet did not swell, and manna fell from heaven. The wilderness stripped them of Egypt's chains and prepared them for promise. Likewise, your wilderness is not punishment, it is preparation. In the dry place, you learn dependence. In the quiet place, you learn discernment. In the lonely place, you learn intimacy. Do not curse the wilderness, embrace it, for it is shaping you into a vessel fit for destiny. I have not called you to comfort, but to purpose. Comfort feeds the flesh, purpose feeds the soul. Comfort is fleeting, purpose is eternal. If you chase comfort, you will miss your calling. But if you pursue calling, you will find fulfillment deeper than comfort could ever provide. Abraham left his homeland. Moses left the palace. The disciples left their nets. All forsook comfort to embrace destiny. So too must you. Do not be afraid to leave the familiar when I call. The unknown with me is safer than the familiar without me. I remind you that obedience unlocks blessing. When Naaman dipped in the Jordan 7 times, though it seemed foolish, healing came. When the widow poured her last oil into jars, provision overflowed. When Peter cast his net at my word, abundance came. So too will your obedience bring breakthrough. Do not wait for understanding before you act. Act in faith, and understanding will follow. Faith without obedience is empty. Obedience without faith is heavy. But faith with obedience moves mountains. Lift your eyes from the temporal and fix them on the eternal. Do not live only for what rusts and fades. Houses crumble. Titles vanish. Riches slip through fingers. But what is done for me endures forever. Store treasures where moth and rust cannot destroy, where thieves cannot steal. Invest your life not only in what is seen, but in what is unseen. When you give, when you serve, when you love, when you sacrifice, you lay up treasures eternal. And I, who see in secret, will reward you openly. Child, do not fear the days ahead. Though storms may come, though nations may shake, though darkness may cover the earth, my light will rise upon you. You are not at the mercy of the world. You are held in the palm of my hand. Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Nothing can separate you from my love, not death nor life, not angels nor demons, not present nor future, not powers nor principalities. You are secure in me. So walk forward with courage. Do not look back to what was. Look ahead to what shall be. Forget the former things. Behold, I do a new thing. Streams will flow in the desert. Pathways will open in the wilderness. The songs will rise from the ashes. You have not seen the fullness of my goodness yet. Greater things are ahead. Trust me. Follow me. And watch as I turn your mourning into dancing, your ashes into beauty, your pain into praise. And when fear whispers that you are not enough, silence it with my promises. When doubt tells you that you will fail, answer it with my truth. When the enemy tries to remind you of your past, remind him of his future. Stand firm on the rock that cannot be shaken. Wear the armor I have given you, the belt of truth, the breastplate of righteousness, the shield of faith, the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, and the shoes of peace. With these, you will overcome. With me, you cannot be defeated. My beloved child, the time has come for you to recognize that your journey is not ordinary. Every step you take, every breath you draw, is part of a divine design. You are not drifting randomly through life. You are being guided, shaped, and directed by my unseen hand, though you may not always perceive it. I am orchestrating the rhythm of your days with precision. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is random, and nothing escapes my notice. Every detail of your existence is woven into a tapestry that will reveal my glory in due time. You often wonder why the road feels so long, why prayers seem delayed, why the vision burns in your heart, yet the manifestation tarries. Do not mistake delay for denial. A seed planted in the soil does not sprout overnight. It requires seasons of waiting, watering, and hidden growth. Likewise, your destiny is unfolding in my appointed time, not in your impatient schedule. I am teaching you to wait not with frustration but with expectation. For those who wait upon me shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. Child, you must understand that waiting is not inactivity. Waiting is warfare. While you wait, you are strengthening your faith, sharpening your discernment, and deepening your intimacy with me. Waiting exposes the motives of your heart. Are you seeking me for what I can give, or for who I am? Waiting purifies your devotion. Many can worship when blessings flow, but true devotion is revealed when silence lingers. Blessed are those who love me, not only in abundance, but also in lack. Not only in clarity, but also in mystery. Know this, every promise I have spoken will come to pass. My word does not return void. As the rain waters the earth and causes it to bud, so shall my word accomplish what I desire. Do not let unbelief steal what faith has birthed. Do not let impatience uproot what I have planted. Guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. Be careful what voices you allow into your spirit. Not every voice that speaks over you carries truth. Discern the difference between my whisper and the enemy's lies. For the enemy will say, God has forgotten you. He has abandoned you. He has overlooked you. But my truth declares, I will never leave you nor forsake you. I have engraved you on the palms of my hands. I know your name. I know your frame. And I know your future. My child, do not despise the small beginnings. A great oak begins as a tiny acorn. A mighty river begins as a small stream. The Savior of the world began as a baby in a manger. Never measure the potential of a thing by its current size. What seems insignificant now may one day change nations. Do not look down on your present season simply because it lacks grandeur. Celebrate what I am building, even in seed form. For if you are faithful in little, I will entrust you with much. There will be opposition, and you must not be surprised by it. Light always attracts darkness, and favor always invites envy. When I elevate you, some will rejoice, but others will resist. Do not be disheartened when people misunderstand you or misjudge your motives. Even my son was despised and rejected by men. Do not live for the applause of the crowd, but for the approval of your Father. When you stand before me, it will not matter who clapped for you or who criticized you. It will only matter that you were faithful to what I entrusted you. Remember, obedience is better than sacrifice. I am not impressed with outward rituals if your heart is far from me. I desire a heart that listens, a spirit that yields, a soul that trusts. When I nudge you to forgive, obey quickly. When I whisper to give, respond generously. When I call you to step out, move boldly. Partial obedience is still disobedience. Trust that my instructions are never random. They are keys that unlock doors. They are maps that lead to destiny. They are shields that guard against destruction. Child, lift your eyes higher. The world teaches you to chase power, possessions, and prestige. But these things fade like shadows. I am calling you to pursue what is eternal faith, hope, and love. Love above all, for love never fails. If you have gifts, but no love, they are noise. If you have faith to move mountains, but no love, it is empty. Let your life be rooted in love, for by this all will know that you are mine, not by titles. not by achievements, but by love. I see the weariness in your soul, the heaviness that weighs on your chest, the battles you fight in silence. Hear me, you are not alone, even when friends scatter and family cannot understand. I remain your constant companion. I am closer than your next breath. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. When you pass through the waters, they will not overwhelm you. My presence is your shield, my spirit your comfort, my hand your strength. Do not let despair deceive you into thinking the night will last forever. Morning is coming. Joy is rising. Hope is alive. Prepare yourself, for I am positioning you for more. The ground is shifting beneath your feet, not to destabilize you, but to relocate you. I am uprooting you from barren soil and replanting you where you will flourish. The relationships changing around you are not accidents, they are alignments. The opportunities opening before you are not luck, they are divine arrangements. Walk through the doors I open, and do not cling to the ones I close. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you a future and a hope. So, beloved, anchor your heart in my promises. Do not let fear dictate your decisions. Do not let weariness steal your focus. Do not let disappointment choke your faith. Stand firm. Be steadfast. Press on, for in due season you shall reap if you do not faint. Lift your head, for redemption draws near. Sing even when tears fall. Praise even when chains remain. Believe even when nothing shifts, for the righteous shall live by faith, and faith pleases me. And when the day comes, yes, it will come when the vision becomes reality, when the promise blossoms, when the breakthrough bursts forth. You will testify not of your strength but of mine. You will say, if it had not been the Lord, I would not have made it. And through your story, others will see my glory. That is why the wait, the struggle, the silence, the pruning, it is all worth it. For in the end, it will not just be about your blessing, it will be about my name being exalted through you. My beloved child, do you not see that what I am doing in your life is beyond what eyes can perceive or minds can conceive? I am not merely rearranging circumstances around you, I am transforming you from within. The battles you endure, the tears you shed, the nights you spend in silence, these are not wasted. They are chisels in my hand, shaping you into a vessel of strength, humility, and wisdom. Every scar will one day become a testimony. Every loss will be redeemed into gain. Every valley will echo with the song of victory. For I, the Lord your God, I am faithful to complete what I began in you. You ask me, why this suffering? Why this delay? Why this fire? And I answer, it is in the fire that gold is refined. It is in the storm that roots grow deep. It is in the wilderness that faith matures. I am not punishing you, I am preparing you. What I am preparing you for is weightier than what you imagine. You prayed for blessing, but I am giving you capacity. You asked for favor, but I am giving you character. You longed for open doors, but I am giving you discernment to know which doors to walk through. If I gave you the promise prematurely, it would crush you. But when I finish my work, the blessing will no longer be a burden. It will be a crown you can carry with grace. Child, lift your perspective. Too often you measure your journey by temporary markers who applauded, who doubted, what opened, what closed. but I measure you by eternal weight. Do not envy those who seem to rise quickly, for towers built on sand collapse with the storm. I am laying a foundation in you that cannot be shaken. Others may sprint ahead, but you will endure. Others may shine briefly, but you will radiate endlessly. For I am not fashioning you for a season, but for a legacy. Understand this truth. Obedience is not about convenience. It is about trust. Sometimes I will call you to walk on waters that seem impossible. Sometimes I will tell you to leave behind what feels comfortable. Sometimes I will silence your voice when you crave to speak. And sometimes I will push you forward when you long to hide. Each command is not random. It is a step in a divine choreography. Your responsibility is not to understand every move, but to trust the one who leads. When Abraham obeyed and left his homeland, he did not see the full picture. Yet his obedience birthed nations. When Peter cast the net at my word, he did not analyze. He acted, and abundance overflowed. So too, your obedience will unlock what intellect cannot achieve. Do not be afraid of the unknown. The unknown is simply the realm where my sovereignty shines brightest. When you cannot trace my hand, trust my heart. When you cannot see the outcome, lean on my promise. For I am not a man that I should lie, nor a son of man that I should change my mind. What I have spoken, I will accomplish. Your role is not to control, but to surrender. For in surrender, there is strength. In weakness, there is power. In yielding, there is victory. My child, there will be voices around you, some loud, some subtle, that seek to derail your focus. They will say you are unworthy, that you are late, that you are forgotten. Silence them with my truth. You are chosen, not forsaken. You are set apart, not overlooked. You are loved, not abandoned. The blood of my Son is proof that you are worth everything to me. Do not let the opinions of man drown out the voice of the one who created you. For men may reject, but I redeem. Men may dismiss, but I elevate. Men may curse, but he bless. I am also teaching you to guard what I entrust. Not every revelation I give you is for public announcement. Some visions are meant to be incubated in prayer until their appointed time. Learn when to speak and when to remain silent. Joseph spoke too soon and faced betrayal, but the dream still stood. David was anointed, yet had to wait years before the throne. Jesus himself often told people not to disclose his miracles because timing mattered. So too in your life. Timing is sacred. Do not rush to display what I am still developing. Treasure my words in your heart until I release them through you. Child, take courage, for what is ahead of you is greater than what lies behind. Do not live chained to yesterday's mistakes or yesterday's wounds. My mercies are new every morning. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Stop rehearsing the pain of the past. Start rehearsing the promises of the future. You cannot drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. Fix your gaze on me, the author and finisher of your faith. I remind you, storms will come, but storms do not last forever. Rain may fall, but rain nourishes the soil for harvest. Winds may blow, but winds spread seeds to fertile ground. Darkness may linger, but dawn is inevitable. Nothing can cancel my plans, not demons, not curses, not schemes, not even your own mistakes. For what I decree, no hand can overturn. Trust that even detours serve my design. Joseph's pit led to a palace. Moses' wilderness led to a promised land. Esther's captivity led to a crown. Your current season is not the conclusion, it is preparation for revelation. Therefore, rise in confidence. Let courage fill your chest. Let faith anchor your soul. Let hope ignite your vision. Do not shrink back, for I take no pleasure in those who retreat. Advance, even if it feels slow. Speak life, even when silence surrounds you. Declare victory, even when evidence suggests defeat. For faith is not sight, it is substance. Faith pulls the unseen into the seen, the eternal into the temporal, the heavenly into the earthly. And when you stand on the other side of this season, you will not only rejoice, you will radiate. Others will look at you and see not the struggle but the strength, not the tears but the triumph, not the wounds but the wisdom. They will ask, "How did you endure?" And you will testify, "It was the Lord." Your story will not merely inspire, it will transform. For through you, others will glimpse the faithfulness of God, and their hearts will be drawn closer to me. So, my beloved, hold fast. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep surrendering. For the journey is not over, it is only beginning. The best is not behind you, it is before you. And when you arrive, you will understand why every tear was necessary, why every delay was purposeful, why every trial was refining. For I, the Lord your God, I am writing a masterpiece with your life, and when it is unveiled, heaven and earth will stand in awe. My beloved child, do you realize that the very air you breathe is sustained by my hand, the beating of your heart, the strength in your bones, the spark in your soul? All are testimonies that I have not abandoned you. Each morning when light breaks through the darkness, it is a reminder that I am still giving you purpose, still writing your story, still calling you into destiny. You are not drifting aimlessly through life. You are being carried by a current of divine intention. Nothing about you is accidental, neither the place you were born, nor the family you were given, nor the talents I placed within you. Every detail is woven with precision into the tapestry of my plan. But, child, you must understand, the weight of glory requires a heart prepared to carry it. I do not send crowns without first shaping character. I do not release authority without first instilling humility. For authority without humility becomes tyranny, and blessing without maturity becomes destruction. So in love, I have allowed seasons that stripped away pride, that crushed false identities, that tore down idols of the heart. These seasons were not meant to break you, but to build you. They removed what could not endure so that what remains will last forever. You often ask, "Lord, why must the process be so long? Why must the road be so narrow? Why must the nights be so dark?" And I tell you this, the longer the foundation is laid, the higher the building can rise. The narrower the path, the surer the steps become. The darker the night, the brighter the light will shine. You are not being delayed, you are being deepened. You are not being punished, you are being positioned. And though your eyes cannot yet see the fullness, your faith is being trained to perceive what flesh cannot grasp. Do not despise the small beginnings. Do not dismiss the hidden seasons. Even the greatest trees begin as unseen seeds beneath the soil. Even the most radiant stars are born in silence before piercing the night sky. So too, What I am birthing in you requires patience. The soil must be tilled. The seed must die. The rain must fall. The roots must grow, and only then will the fruit emerge. You cannot rush a harvest, for each stage is sacred. Trust that I am not withholding, I am cultivating. Beloved, you must also learn to separate noise from truth. The world will scream definitions of success numbers. Applause, recognition, wealth. But I call you to a different measure: obedience, love, faithfulness, perseverance. When you stand before me, I will not ask how many praised you or followed you. I will ask if you loved as I loved, if you forgave as I forgave, if you obeyed when no one else was watching. Heaven's measure is not fame but faithfulness, not clout but character, not possessions but purity of heart. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. My child, there will come moments when everything in you feels weak, when prayers seem unanswered, when silence weighs heavy. Yet even then, I am closer than your breath. The silence is not my absence but my strategy. When a teacher is silent during a test, it does not mean he has left the room. I am watching how you respond, how you lean on what I have already spoken, how you choose faith when feelings fade. For true faith is not built in the light of answers, but in the shadows of silence. And in those moments when you feel alone, remember I carried Israel through the desert with manna each morning and water from the rock. I will sustain you, too, until the promise manifests. Lift your head, child. Do not bow under the weight of shame or fear. The cross has already declared your worth. The blood has already sealed your redemption. The grave has already been conquered for your victory. You are not fighting for victory. You are fighting from victory. The enemy seeks to blind you to this truth, but every lie crumbles before the power of my word. Take my promises as a sword. Let them cut through the doubts that whisper you are not enough. For you are more than enough, not by your strength, but because I have clothed you with mine. Do not fear tomorrow. Do not live in anxiety over what is to come. Tomorrow is already in my hands. Even before you were formed in the womb, I knew every day ordained for you. Even before your lips spoke prayers, I had woven answers into the fabric of time. Fear thrives in uncertainty, but I call you to trust the one who holds certainty. For I am Alpha and Omega, beginning and end, author and finisher. You need not map every step when you walk with the one who knows the way. My beloved, prepare yourself, for soon what you prayed in secret will be shouted in testimony. What you endured in silence will be revealed in glory. What you lost in tears will return in joy. You will see doors swing open that no man can shut. You will see enemies bow under the weight of my justice. You will see barren places bloom with unexpected life. And when it happens, you will know it was never by your might, nor by your power, but by my Spirit. So take courage, stand firm, clothe yourself in faith. Let praise be your weapon. Let love be your banner. Let hope be your anchor. For the days ahead are not to be feared but embraced. You were born for such a time as this. Your voice matters. Your presence carries weight. Your obedience shifts atmospheres. Do not underestimate who you are in me. For when I look at you, I see not just who you are, but who you will become: a light to nations, a vessel of my glory. a living testament that nothing is impossible with God. My beloved child, there are still treasures hidden within you that you have not yet discovered. You often look at your weaknesses and believe they define you. Yet I see beyond your flaws into the potential I planted long before you were born. Just as a sculptor sees a masterpiece in a block of stone, so I see greatness in the fragments of your life. Every scar, every tear, every disappointment is not wasted. It becomes part of the shaping, chiseling away what does not belong so that my image may shine through you. The enemy tries to use your past as a chain to bind you, whispering lies that you are disqualified, unworthy, or too broken. But I tell you, my grace is greater than your failure. My mercy is stronger than your shame. My redemption rewrites every story. What the enemy intended for evil, I will turn for good. Did I not use Joseph's betrayal to seat him in a palace? Did I not transform David's wilderness into a throne? Did I not lift Peter from denial into destiny? Likewise, I will use even your darkest chapters as platforms for my glory. But you must learn to let go. Release the grip on what hurt you. Release the grip on what left you disappointed. Release the grip on what did not unfold as you thought it would. For clinging to the past robs you of the present, and fear of tomorrow steals the gift of today. Lay it down at my feet. Child, do not carry what I have already nailed to the cross. The weight you bear is not yours to hold. Give me your burdens, and I will give you rest. Exchange your ashes for beauty, your mourning for joy, your heaviness for praise. Child, do not measure yourself against others. Comparison is a thief that blinds you to the beauty of your own journey. I did not design you to walk in another's path. I designed you for your own. Just as no two fingerprints are alike, no two destinies are the same. The race set before you is unique, with curves, valleys, and mountaintops designed to shape you. Do not envy the speed of another's run. Some journeys require sprinting, but yours may require endurance. I do not reward the fastest, I reward the faithful. Run your race with perseverance, fixing your eyes not on others, but on Jesus, the author and finisher of your faith. Beloved, the days of feeling overlooked are ending. I have seen every moment you felt invisible, every time you gave when no one thanked you, every seed you sowed in silence. I am a God who sees, and I am a God who rewards. Do not think that your labor of love has gone unnoticed. I am preparing a table before you in the presence of your enemies. I am opening the heavens to pour blessings you cannot contain. Your faithfulness in hidden places will be shouted from rooftops. What was unseen by man is honored by me. Yet remember this, the blessings I send are not for your comfort alone, but for your calling. Wealth, influence, opportunity, even favor, these are not meant to terminate on you, but to flow through you. You are blessed to be a blessing. You are given to, so that you may give. When I increase you, do not build higher walls, but longer tables. When I lift you, do not boast, but serve. For greatness in my kingdom is not measured by how high you rise, but by how low you bend to wash the feet of others. My child, guard your heart in this coming season. With blessing comes responsibility, and with responsibility comes opposition. There will be those who misunderstand you, who question your motives, who envy your favor. Do not allow bitterness to grow. Do not let resentment take root. Love your enemies. Pray for those who persecute you. Forgive quickly and fully, for unforgiveness is poison, but mercy is freedom. Did I not forgive those who nailed me to the cross? Then you also must forgive. For in forgiveness you reflect my heart. You ask me often, Lord, what is my purpose? Why am I here, child? Your purpose is not hidden. It is to love me with all your heart and to love others as yourself. Everything else flows from this. Whether you build, create, teach, heal, speak, or serve, let it all spring from love. Without love, even the most spectacular acts are empty. But with love, even the smallest kindness carries eternal weight. Love is the currency of heaven. Love is the mark of my children. Let it saturate your words, your actions, your thoughts. Let it be the fragrance of your life. Beloved, I remind you that I am not asking for perfection, but for surrender. I do not delight in flawless performance. I delight in a yielded heart. When you stumble, rise again. When you fall short, repent and keep walking. My grace covers the gaps. My spirit empowers the weak. You are not meant to do this journey alone. Lean on me. Trust in me. Walk with me. For apart from me, you can do nothing. But with me, all things are possible. And now, prepare your heart, for I am drawing you into deeper waters. This is not the season to retreat into fear, but to step boldly into faith. I am calling you to walk where the ground seems uncertain, to trust where vision seems blurry, to obey even when understanding is limited. For faith is not about clarity of sight, but confidence in the unseen. Like Peter stepping out of the boat, you will walk on waters that others sink in, not by your strength, but by keeping your eyes fixed on me. Child, this is your moment. This is your hour. Heaven has aligned. Angels have been dispatched. Doors have been ordered to open. Rise in courage. Rise in faith. Rise in love. For you are not ordinary, you are chosen, set apart, anointed for such a time as this. My beloved child, the season ahead will test your endurance, but it will also reveal the depth of my faithfulness. Do not mistake delay for denial. The time between the promise and its fulfillment is the ground where faith takes root. Abraham waited decades before holding Isaac. Hannah wept many years before cradling Samuel. Joseph endured betrayal and prison before ruling in Egypt. Yet in every delay, I was present, shaping their character, deepening their trust, preparing them for the weight of their destiny. And so, I am doing with you. Do not despise the waiting, for in the waiting, you are being made strong. There will be moments when discouragement whispers that nothing is changing, that prayers rise no higher than the ceiling, that silence is evidence of my absence. But silence is not abandonment. Silence is strategy. When a teacher is silent during a test, it does not mean they have left. It means they are watching to see what the student has learned. In the same way, I am watching, guiding, sustaining you in every silent moment. Trust that though you cannot hear my voice, my hand is still upon you, steadying every step. Child, I am not limited by circumstances, what you call impossible. I call already done. Walls crumble when I breathe. Seas part when I speak. Tombs empty when I command. Nothing, no sickness, no bondage, no mountain of debt, no hardened heart is beyond my reach. Lift your eyes higher. beyond what is seen. Fix your gaze on the unseen, for that is eternal. Walk by faith, not by sight. Speak life where there is death. Proclaim hope where there is despair. Declare victory though the battle rages. For your words, aligned with my truth, carry authority. Yet remember, this authority is birthed in intimacy. You cannot speak with heaven's power if you do not first sit at heaven's feet. The strength of your public witness flows from the depth of your private worship. Do not neglect the secret place, for it is there that revelation is given. Strength is renewed, and instructions are made clear. The world clamors for your attention, but I whisper in stillness. Make space for me. Guard the sacred moments of prayer and scripture. Let my word dwell richly in you, shaping your thoughts, anchoring your soul, guiding your decisions. Beloved, I am calling you to rise as a light in a world growing darker. Do not be intimidated by the shadows. Rather, let them remind you of the power of light. Even the smallest flame can pierce the greatest darkness. You may feel small, insignificant, unqualified. Yet I delight in using the unlikely. I chose a shepherd boy to slay a giant. I chose a young girl to carry the Savior. I chose fishermen to shake nations. And I choose you, not because of your qualifications, but because of your surrender. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. You ask me, Lord, how can I make a difference when I feel so limited? Child, you are not limited, you are positioned. Every place I send you is ground for impact. In your family, speak life. In your workplace, walk with integrity. In your friendships, sow kindness. In your community, extend compassion. Do not underestimate small acts of obedience, for they ripple into eternity. A cup of water given in my name, a word of encouragement, a prayer whispered in faith, all carry weight in heaven. Live faithfully where you are, and I will expand your reach when the time is right. Do not allow fear to dictate your choices. Fear is a liar that magnifies shadows and distorts truth. Faith, however, anchors you in my promises. When fear says, you can't, faith replies, with God, all things are possible. When fear says, you are alone, faith remembers, He will never leave nor forsake me. When fear says, it is over, faith proclaims, my God is the God of resurrection. Let faith be the lens through which you see, speak, and act, for faith pleases me. And through faith, mountains move. My child, protect the purity of your heart. This world will try to harden it with cynicism, pollute it with compromise, or distract it with endless noise. But I have called you to live set apart, holy, undefiled. Do not sell your soul for fleeting pleasures or temporary applause. Seek first my kingdom and righteousness, and all other things will be added to you. Remember, eternity is longer than time, and the rewards I hold are greater than anything this world can offer. Store your treasures in heaven, where moth and rust cannot destroy, where thieves cannot steal. And know this, I am not only your God, I am your Father. My love for you is not transactional but unconditional. You cannot earn it, nor can you lose it. It was sealed on the cross, written in blood, secured forever. When you fall, I lift you. When you wander, I pursue you. When you doubt, I remind you, you are mine, not because of what you do, but because of who I am. And who I am is faithful, unchanging, eternal love. Sorrise. Child, rise in hope, rise in courage, rise in purpose. The world waits not for perfection, but for those who are willing to say yes. And you have been chosen for such a time as this. Heaven applauds your obedience. Angels stand ready to assist. The Spirit within you empowers, and I, the Lord your God, go before you, behind you, and with you always. This is not the end of your story. It is the unfolding of destiny. Step into it with confidence, for greater things are yet to come. My beloved child, the journey is not finished yet. What you see today is only a fragment of the tapestry I am weaving. Every thread, both dark and bright, forms a pattern that you cannot yet perceive. From your perspective, it may seem tangled, confusing, or incomplete, but from my throne, I see the full design perfect, radiant, and purposeful. Nothing is wasted. Not a single tear, not a single prayer, not a single step of obedience. All things are working together for good for those who love me and are called according to my purpose. Do not measure progress by human standards. Some victories are hidden, some growth is invisible until the right season reveals it. A seed buried beneath the soil appears lifeless, yet in silence it is breaking, rooting, and preparing to sprout. So it is with your life. Even when you feel buried under pressure, trials, or uncertainty, know that you are planted, not forgotten, and in due time, you will rise with fruit abundant and unshakable. Beloved, I am calling you to trust me with the unknown. The future may appear like a fog, obscuring your path, but I am the light that guides each step. You need not see the entire road. You only need to take the next faithful step. Obedience is the key. Abraham did not know the destination, but he went. Peter did not know how he could walk on water, but he stepped out. Mary did not know how she could carry the Messiah, but she said yes. Each act of trust opened the door to miracles, and the same will be true for you. Child, do not cling to what I am asking you to release. Some relationships, opportunities, or possessions may feel precious, yet they weigh you down. Like Abraham lifting Isaac upon the altar, trust. When you place everything in my hands, I return what is aligned with my will and remove what hinders. What you lose for my sake, you gain multiplied in ways eternal. I am not a thief, but a father who prunes so that greater fruit may grow. Let go of what I ask, and watch how I fill the empty spaces with blessings beyond your imagination. There is also a battle over your mind. For thoughts shape destiny. Guard your mind diligently. Do not entertain lies that whisper you are unworthy, forgotten, or powerless. Those are chains forged by the enemy to keep you bound. Instead, renew your mind daily with my truth. Speak my word aloud. Declare who I say you are chosen, redeemed, beloved, more than a conqueror. When you resist the lies and replace them with truth, the enemy flees, and freedom reigns. Your mind is a battlefield, but with my word as your weapon, Victory is assured. Beloved, prepare yourself, for the days ahead will bring shaking. Systems of this world will falter. What once seemed secure will crumble. Yet fear not, for my kingdom is unshakable. Those who build upon the rock will stand firm when storms rage. Strengthen your foundation now. Root yourself in prayer, in scripture, in community with other believers. When winds blow, your house will not fall, because it is anchored in me. Do not seek security in wealth, status, or human approval, for they are sand. Seek it in me, the eternal cornerstone. I am also calling you to rise in compassion. This generation is starving for love. Though it drowns in noise and distraction, you carry the answer. For my spirit within you pours out rivers of living water. Do not withhold kindness. Do not close your heart to the broken, the outcast, the overlooked. As you serve the least of these, you serve me. As you extend grace, you mirror my heart. Be my hands that heal, my voice that comforts, my presence that restores. Let your life be a testimony not only in words but in deeds that reflect heaven's mercy. Child, remember that your prayers carry weight. Do not underestimate the power of your intercession. When you pray, angels are dispatched. Chains are broken. Doors are opened. Elijah prayed, and the heavens withheld rain. He prayed again, and rain returned. Daniel prayed, and though the answer was delayed by warfare in the heavens, it still came. Likewise, your prayers ascend as incense before my throne. Even when you see no immediate change, know that the spiritual realm is being stirred. Persevere, for breakthrough is nearer than you realize. You may feel weary at times, burdened by responsibilities or battles that seem relentless, but lean into my strength. Those who wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. Rest is not inactivity, but trust. Trust that I am working, even when you are still. Come to me, and I will give you rest. A rest deeper than sleep. A peace surpassing understanding. A joy that endures even in hardship. Finally, my child, fix your eyes not on the temporary, but on eternity. This life is but a breath, a mist that appears for a moment and then vanishes. Do not squander it on pursuits that fade. Invest in what lasts souls. Love, truth, righteousness. When you cross into eternity, titles, possessions, and achievements will remain behind. But the faith you carried, the love you gave, the souls you touched will echo forever. Live today with eternity in view, and you will find purpose that cannot be shaken. Even in the darkest hour, my beloved child, do not think that the challenges you face are meaningless. Every trial is a classroom, every storm a teacher. When fire touches gold, impurities rise, and only what is pure remains. In the same way, hardships reveal the depth of your faith and strip away what is temporary so that what is eternal may shine brighter. Do not despise the testing, for it produces endurance, character, and hope. And hope does not put you to shame, because my love has been poured into your heart through my Spirit. There are times when you ask, "Why me? Lord, Why must I walk this path? Know this, I do not waste pain. What you endure becomes oil in your lamp, preparing you for the midnight cry when the bridegroom comes. What seems like delay is preparation. What feels like loss is shaping. Even the tears you shed are not forgotten. They are gathered in my bottle, recorded in my book, and transformed into testimonies of deliverance. What the enemy meant for evil, I will turn for good, so that my glory may be revealed through you. Beloved, I am shaping you not only for survival but for influence. Your voice carries authority, not because of who you are, but because of who lives in you. When you speak my word in faith, mountains move. When you declare my promises, strongholds break. Do not remain silent. Prophesy to the dry bones. Speak life where there is death, the hope where there is despair, light where there is darkness. As you release my word, it will not return void, but will accomplish what I sent it to do. Guard your tongue as well, for life and death are in its power. Do not allow murmuring, gossip, or bitterness to flow from your lips. Instead, let your words be seasoned with grace, healing, and truth. Remember, even in silence I hear the whispers of your heart. Let your heart overflow with worship, gratitude, and intercession. In doing so, your mouth will become an instrument of blessing, not destruction. Child, be vigilant, for the enemy prowls like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. His strategies are subtle distraction, deception, discouragement. Do not underestimate him, but neither should you fear him. For greater is he who is in you than he who is in the world. Put on the full armor of God, truth as your belt, righteousness as your breastplate, the gospel of peace as your shoes, faith as your shield, salvation as your helmet, and the word of God as your sword. Stand firm, and after you have done all, keep standing. I am also calling you deeper into intimacy, more than your works. I desire your heart. Do not let ministry replace fellowship, or busyness replace devotion. Like Mary who sat at my feet, choose the better portion that cannot be taken away. In the secret place, I reveal mysteries. In kindness, I whisper direction. In stillness, I pour peace that transcends chaos. Return to your first love, and you will find joy that no circumstance can steal. Beloved, remember that you are never alone, even when others forsake you. I remain, even when friends misunderstand. I understand fully, even when doors close. I am the door that no man can shut. You are surrounded by a great cloud of witnesses cheering you on. Angels are assigned to guard you, ministering spirits sent to serve those who inherit salvation. Heaven itself is invested in your journey. Walk with confidence, knowing that you are upheld by unseen hands and guided by eternal purpose. Lift your eyes, child. Beyond the present moment, see the harvest that awaits. Nations are hungry for truth, and you carry bread that satisfies. Do not store it for yourself. Break it and share it. Be bold, for the world does not need more silence. It needs witnesses of hope. Let your light shine before others, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. You are not hidden, you are positioned. You are not insignificant, you are chosen. You are not abandoned, you are sent. Do not compare your journey with another's, Each calling is unique, each path designed with intention. The vineyard has many laborers, some sow, some water, some harvest. All are vital. All are honored. Focus not on competing, but on completing what I have assigned to you. Comparison breeds envy and discouragement, but gratitude fuels joy and perseverance. Rejoice in what I am doing through you, and celebrate what I am doing through others. The kingdom is vast enough for every gift to shine. Finally, beloved, prepare your heart for my return. The signs are evident, nations tremble, creation groans, and hearts long for redemption. Do not be asleep like the foolish virgins, but be awake, with lamps burning, with faith steadfast. Let every day be lived as if it were the last, not in fear, but in holy expectation. For the King is coming, and his reward is with him. Blessed is the servant whom the Master finds faithful when he returns. My beloved child, as you step into this new season, remember that nothing you have endured has been wasted. Every scar carries a story, every battle a testimony, every tear a seed that will spring forth into a harvest of joy. What you thought was breaking you was actually building you. What you assumed was the end was only the beginning of a greater unfolding. For I am the Alpha and the Omega, the author and the finisher of your faith. The pen of destiny is still in my hand, and I write with precision, weaving together even the broken strands into a tapestry of glory. Child, I urge you, walk with courage. Fear has no hold when love is perfected. Anxiety loses power when trust is anchored. Doubt cannot prevail when faith is firm. Keep your eyes fixed on me, not on the waves. Peter walked on water when he looked at me, but he began to sink when his eyes shifted to the storm. Likewise, the storms in your life are not meant to drown you, but to display my power. Take heart, it is I. Do not be afraid. With me, the impossible becomes possible. The closed becomes open. The barren becomes fruitful. I call you also into deeper surrender. Surrender is not loss, it is gain. When you release control, you make room for my sovereignty. When you lay down your will, you discover my perfect will, which is higher and better. Remember my son in Gethsemane, who prayed, "Not my will, but yours be done." That surrender unlocked resurrection. In the same way, when you yield fully, you too will experience resurrection life in places that seemed beyond hope. Surrender unlocks miracles. Surrender is the key to peace. Beloved, keep your heart free from offense. Forgive quickly, for unforgiveness is a chain that binds you, not the one who hurt you. Release bitterness, for it poisons the wellspring of your soul. Choose mercy, even for those who least deserve it. For in showing mercy, you reflect the heart of your Father. Did I not forgive you much? Then forgive others as freely as you have been forgiven. This is not weakness, it is strength. It is victory over the schemes of the enemy, who thrives on division. By choosing forgiveness, you disarm his weapons and keep your spirit light for the journey. Do not neglect the secret power of worship. Worship is not confined to songs, but is a posture of life. When you worship in spirit and truth, chains break, prisons shake, and heavens open. Paul and Silas sang at midnight, and the prison doors flew open. In the same way, your praise in dark moments becomes a weapon of deliverance. Lift your voice, even when tears flow. Declare my greatness, even when circumstances seem small. As you magnify me, your perspective shifts, and you will see that I am greater than any trial. I remind you too, child, of the power of community. Do not walk alone. Just as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. Surround yourself with those who encourage, who speak life, who hold you accountable to truth. Avoid those who pull you back into doubt, sin, or distraction. Walk with the wise and become wise. Encourage one another daily, for the days are evil and the battle is real. Together, my people are stronger, like living stones forming a spiritual house. With Christ Himself as the cornerstone, lift your vision higher, for the nations await. I did not light your lamp to hide it under a bowl. I did not anoint you only for a private blessing. You are called to be salt and light, a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. Let your influence extend beyond your comfort zone. Speak to strangers. Bless your enemies. Serve the least, and love the overlooked. In doing so, you reveal my kingdom to a world desperate for hope. Do not underestimate small acts of kindness, for even a cup of cold water given in my name carries eternal reward. Beloved, the time is shorter than you think. Redeem the days, for the days are fleeting. Do not postpone obedience. Delayed obedience is disobedience. If I tell you to speak, speak. If I nudge you to give, give. If I lead you to go, go. Tomorrow is not promised, but today is in your hands. Live as if eternity begins now, for truly it does. Lay up treasures in heaven, where moth and rust cannot destroy, and thieves cannot break in and steal. Let your heart be where your treasure is, and let your treasure be in me. Know that I rejoice over you with singing. You are not merely my servant, you are my child, my beloved, my delight. I take pleasure in your growth, in your victories, even in your struggles, for they draw you closer to me. I am not ashamed of you. I am proud of you. I call you mine. No accusation from the enemy can erase your identity, for it is sealed with my blood. Walk in that identity, not in shame, not in fear, but in the fullness of sonship and daughterhood. Finally, child, lift your head, for your redemption draws near. Soon the trumpet will sound, and the dead in Christ will rise first. Soon every tear will be wiped away, every sorrow healed, every injustice made right. Until that day, remain steadfast, immovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, knowing that your labor is not in vain. Finish the race, keep the faith, fight the good fight. For when you cross the finish line, you will hear the words your soul longs for. Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master. Thank you for listening to today's message. I invite you to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that together we may continue to receive the living words that bring life and strength. Let us build a faith that stands firm in every season, walking step by step in the boundless love of the Lord. Amen.